Now we move on. China says the upcoming SCO Summit in Tianjin will promote stability and oppose hegemonism. President Xi Jinping will attend and host relevant events. China will take the SCO as a priority in neighborhood diplomacy, and the summit is expected to take the organization into a new phase of high-quality development. Leaders will sign the Tianjin Declaration, announce new measures to advance cooperation, and release a series of cooperation documents. The summit will include bilateral meetings and will be attended by more than 20 heads of government, over 10 leaders of international organizations, as well as the UN Secretary General and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Let's listen into what the China's Assistant Foreign Minister Liu Bing has said.
中方希望通过天津峰会，同上合组织国家凝聚政治共识，激发合作动能，发出共同声音，采取联合行动，以上合组织的稳定性和坚韧性，应对国际环境的不确定、难预料因素，为本地区各国人民创造持久和平、普遍安全、共同繁荣、开放包容、和谐友好的良好环境。当今世界霸权主义、强权政治的旧思维仍有市场，个别国家试图将本国利益凌驾于其他国家利益之上，严重威胁世界和平与稳定。然而，国际关系民主化已经成为不可阻挡的时代潮流。搞阵营对抗、小院高墙，注定不得人心。平等相待、合作共赢才是人间正道。
Now for this discussion, we are joined by Major General Gigi Dwivedi. He's a global strategic defense expert. Joins us live from New Delhi. Thank you, Major General, for staying with us. Now, what does China's emphasis on opposing hegemonism at the upcoming SCO Summit reveal? What do you think they're suggesting to?
Well, Suma, first and foremost, we need to understand as to what are the aims and objectives of Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which is an important Eurasian grouping, primarily to deal with the economic, security, and political issues. But the point, underlying aim, it is the grouping which is driven by China and possibly, as seen, to act as a counterbalance against the European and American-led groupings. So therefore, the effort by China always is to have an alternate to the Western-led groupings, and therefore, Shanghai Cooperation Organization is one of the platforms where Chinese pursue their own interest and agenda. And as you rightly brought out, and also by the Deputy Minister of China, he has emphasized on, standing against the hegemony of the West and also developing new areas of cooperation. Now, all this indicates that China always is trying to use forums like BRICS or Shanghai Cooperation Organization to offer an alternate to the Western-led alliances. And today, Shanghai Cooperation Organization has grown, and it has 11 members, and there are 20 who are going to attend. And Russia and India joined this organization in 2017, while this organization came into effect in 1996. So the point I'm trying to make is the Chinese are using these platforms as an alternate groupings to the West, and also this gives opportunity for China to project its own leadership, and that's why these kind of statements or these kinds of political articulation is manifested on this platform, and Chinese will use this platform actually to defy the Western order, the Western groupings, and consolidate the grouping, because the grouping is now a quite challenge to the Western alliances. And you will see that during the SCO, President Xi Jinping will use this forum to project himself, project China as an emerging power, and also to consolidate the groupings so that it can be leveraged against the Western alliances. Assume.
And Major General, what impact could this have on relationship with the West? What do you think?
So, as I said, that these groupings primarily China is using to counter the Western alliances, it definitely will have a sort of concern because Chinese have a couple of agendas. First and foremost, they want to project as a alternate to the American global power. They also want to have the separate currency which can de-link from the dollar, and more importantly, the security grouping, because the members of the grouping are Central Asian republics and Russia. So they all four, they have a common agenda, especially Russia and China, against the Western alliances. So I think that this forum will definitely try to leverage the ability of the forum and the grouping, and also the China-Russia partnership, which is actually a cause of concern, definitely among the Western alliances and grouping. We need to see and watch what exactly comes out of the forum, but as stated, it will be addressing the security, economic new initiative, and also give a further flip to the Chinese signature program, that is Belt Road Initiative. More members are likely to join in and further consolidate more or less Chinese position and China and Russia alliance, while India is there. But I think India is the outlier in this group, because this group is largely dominated by China and Russia. So,
And Major General, building on your answer, what role do you think, although you said main players here might be China and Russia, but what role do you think India's participation will play in influencing this direction of SCO policies, especially given the timing where US has accused India again and again of continuing to buy Russian oil?
well, you see, India's position is the first and foremost, we have joined this grouping to develop our relation with the Eurasian countries, especially Central Asian Republic. And second also is to ensure that these forums are not used against our interests, because incidentally Pakistan is also part of the forum. And India acts as a balancing power, because we are ensured that it is not used as a platform for the anti-Western or anti-American grouping, and therefore our presence ensures that a balance is maintained and it doesn't get totally tilted against the Western or the American alliances. And more importantly, this also gives opportunity to our Prime Minister Modi, to interact directly with Xi Jinping, have one-on-one meeting, and also with President Putin, because India's relation with China had taken a hit after 2020, when Chinese PLA walked into the eastern Ladakh, and this now relationship is being mended at Kazan. They had a one-on-one meeting between Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Modi, and now they will continue to ensure that this relationship is actually brought on track. And a couple of senior leaders from China,
Yes.
especially Wang Yi was in India, also to ensure. So I think that in a nutshell, India will position itself as an important player and ensure that balance is maintained in this grouping, and also pursue our own bilateral interests with Russia, China, and other Central Asian republics. Asuma.
Yes, thank you very much, Major General Gigi Dwivedi, for always joining us and sharing your insight. Now we move on to our next news. Texas and California are racing to